Good YouTube, it's KB with Just Do Boxing back with another video. And as y'all could tell from the title of the video, got some big news in the sport of boxing. So we got former undisputed junior welterweight champion, currently WBO welterweight champion Terence "Bud" Crawford, suing his former promoter Bob Arum for millions of dollars. So let's get into it. I'm gonna read y'all a little bit of this article from the New York Post about this lawsuit. It says Terence Crawford claims Bob Arum's revolting racial bias hurt his career. Crawford went on to say that Arum simply doesn't care about or know how to support or promote black fighters. They went on to say this could be the most bruising legal bout in boxing of all time. They're saying Crawford is simply challenging famed boxing promoter Bob Arum in a bombshell lawsuit claiming the promoter's revolting racial bias prevented him from landing big fights and earning tens of millions of dollars, according to the court papers filed in Nevada. And went on to say Crawford, who signed a 90-day deal, Crawford signed a deal with 90-year-old New York-born Arum and his company Top Rank in 2011, alleges that this complaint that Arum simply does not care about, support, or know how to promote black fighters and deliberately didn't build him into a marquee pay-per-view star. Wow. Went on to say, Crawford famously split with Arum at a November 2021 press conference, saying he wanted to become a free agent to better land his dream bout with Earl Spence Jr. The fighter, speaking of Crawford, has hired top attorney Brian Friedman and is suing for almost $10 million. But the blows he rains on Arum in a lawsuit are far more damaging. It went on to say, the lawsuit was filed in the 8th Judicial District Court in Nevada on Wednesday. And that's today. Crawford shines a spotlight on the systemic racism that runs through Top Rank and Top Rank's complete inability to properly promote black fighters. Top Rank Arum and his stepson Todd DeBuff desperate treatment of black fighters, including Crawford. Crawford also alleges in further fighting talks and in the filing, Arum clearly allows his revolting racial bias to impact the fighters he is obligated to promote. The suit also mentioned other big names in the sport, such as Floyd Mayweather Jr., as having been mistreated by Arum, who scoffed at these legal allegations when it got reached by the New York Post. Wow, so basically Bob Arum is essentially just showing a nonchalant attitude toward Crawford and his claims. And Arum went on to say, don't call a man racist when really this is because of your own failures. That's said Arum, who claims he lost $20 million on Crawford. He told the New York Post he lost $20 million on Terence Crawford. His marketability didn't measure up to his ability, and that has absolutely nothing to do with race. Wow, the outstanding fact that Terrence's numbers on pay-per-view has always been dreadful because of his failure to market himself. Just to stop real quick on that note, if I understand promoting yourself, I do, I get that. But, when has a promoter, told the fighter to promote himself? Like, what is your job then? What is your job? What exactly is your job? You basically passing the buck and not taking no accountability for not getting Crawford the biggest fights and some of the biggest fights that he's asked for. That's basically what you're doing right there. He's saying for years, professional boxers and others in the sport world have called out Top Rank's owner Bob Arum for his desperate treatment of black boxers, including those very same black boxers that Top Rank is contractually obligated to promote. So in other words, in plain terms, basically saying that his lack of promotion, Bob Arum lack to promote him. It basically led to him not being the biggest stars he could be. And he's saying basically the treatment of black fighters from Bob Arum has caused, the sport of boxing, just big, not only him, but the sport of boxing, big fights in general. So he's making some big claims here, man, and this is interesting news. I mean, all along, people, I doubt if anybody could really, maybe one or two people could have said they seen this coming, but ultimately most people were in the thought that, Crawford enjoyed being at Top Rank, and, that's just where he wanted to be. But, with this news breaking that he's suing Bob Arum for $10 million, I mean, that says otherwise. I mean, I wonder how long, this has been in the makings, you know what I'm saying? And it's unfortunate that Crawford will have to go to these lengths to get the fights. I mean, if that's what he's aiming to do, to get the fights that he wants, I mean, it's just ridiculous in the sport of boxing. I mean, he's with Arum for years, and Arum never got him the Pacquiao fight. It's kind of like they always told him they would get him the fight, and they just never did. And then, you fast forward now, and he's just now coming off a win, over a top welterweight. And, maybe you could say some of that is Crawford's fault, because in any situation, I don't think no one person is 100% accountable in a situation like that when you're doing business. So maybe you could, say it's Crawford's fault to some degree. But at the same time, I'm pretty sure Arum was telling him and probably promising him behind closed doors that he would get him the big fights. You know what I mean? And it's like he even was on record, saying one thing, and then, maybe he tells Crawford one thing behind closed doors and then us another. That's what it appears. That's what's been going on. So I figured with Crawford leaving Top Rank and Bob Arum, that would be a good sign, not only for Crawford, but for boxing fans, because we would essentially get the Errol Spence versus Terence Crawford fight. I mean, that's the fight everybody wants to see. I mean, that Pacquiao fight came and went. I mean, it's unfortunate he didn't get it when he should have, because he definitely was deserving. He didn't get the Pacquiao fight. Fast forward, Spence gets injured and has to pull out, so he didn't get the Pacquiao fight. But if you look at it, he didn't get the Pacquiao fight because of injury. And it's how is it that Errol Spence was going to get the Pacquiao fight before a fighter on his own promotional banner, fighting under his own promotional banner? Crawford and Pacquiao were once both signed to Top Rank. You would think that would be an easy fight to make. And, I just don't see why, other than the fact that Arum just didn't simply want to fight. I don't see why Crawford wasn't afforded the opportunity to fight Manny Pacquiao years ago, when he should have been. And like I said, you fast forward to now, with him suing, he must have obviously been unhappy with the treatment for years, and I guess he's finally, deciding to speak up on it. And I just wanted to, report that to y'all, let y'all know what's going on with Crawford. And shoot, I don't know if this situation gets him any closer to the Errol Spence fight. I mean, who knows how this is gonna play out in court? Like I said, I just wanted to give y'all my quick thoughts on it, and hopefully we're able to get more of the fights we want to see in 2022, man. I mean, the boxing world deserves it. I mean, hopefully things work out in Crawford's favor and he's able to, resume his career and get the biggest fights out there possible for him, because we all know he deserves it. He's considered as, top two, maybe one of the, definitely one of the top two best fighters in the world. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Y'all get in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think of, Bob Arum getting sued by Crawford. And as always, y'all let me know if I gave Terence Bud Crawford his just due, man. Because obviously Bob Arum did. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, man. To the next one, I'm out. Peace.